What's up? You're watching Cheap Seats. I'm Riley. That's Graydon. And today we're talking wide receivers, specifically the number one wide receiver option for each team. It's going to be a bracket of 32 of them. We're going to decide who the best wide receiver in the NFL is today.
I like it, man. I played wide receiver number one back in high school and middle school and college and a little in the pros. So I think I have a good opinion on kind of who's got the best hands.
Who do you play for in the pros?
In the pros?
Yeah.
Few of them.
Which ones?
Played for the Colts mostly under Manning.
Under Manning? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I played with Peyton.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Briefly.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Never got a target during the regular season, but I played with him a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
Forced around. I was a big locker room guy.
Cool. Yeah, I played wide receiver in 6th grade football, and I went number one in my pants because I got hit so hard in practice. All right, let's get into it.
Come on.
32 wide receivers, only one can win. Let's get into it. First matchup, Tyreek Hill versus Deontay Johnson.
Not a whole lot to say here. Tyreek Hill does have OBJ joining the squad this year.
Yeah, and Jalen Waddle, obviously a great wide receiver too.
Always there, but I'm kind of in the firm opinion that anytime you add talent or depth, it only makes the number one better.
Yeah, maybe like for fantasy, it might take away because your targets or whatever, but we're talking just like who's going to be the best.
Yeah, and so I think if OBJ, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill are trips wide right, you can't really double Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, for sure. And Deontay Johnson was great with the Steelers.
Yeah.
And now he's playing for who? The Carolina Panthers?
Bryce Young's Carolina Panthers.
I do think Bryce Young's going to have a little bit of a bounce back year.
Be hard not to.
Right. I mean, it was a really bad year the first year. But obviously, we're going to go Tyreek Hill here.
Obviously.
All right.
The first round, unlike our music brackets, is going to be pretty simple here.
Yeah, it's going to be quick.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we're not going to like watch highlights for each one.
Yeah, be like, wow, that was a hell of a grab. I don't know.
All right, now we got Devonte Adams versus Malik Neighbors.
Really excited to see Malik Neighbors this year.
Yeah, but who's he got thrown to? The clown from The Simpsons? Right, is it Krusty?
Krusty.
Krusty the Clown?
Yeah,
I think Krusty the Clown is playing quarterback for the Giants this year, so...
No, that can't be right, because Krusty's handsome and looks like a normal person, and the Giants quarterback looks like he got bopped in the back of the head with a shovel.
He looks kind of like he could be in Trainspotting, the movie.
Yeah, a little
you know
bit.
What I mean?
Yeah.
He's like one of those guys.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, Devonte Adams...
One of the GOATs.
He's 31, but he's great.
Yeah, he's really great. And he has a quarterback upgrade.
Gardner Minshew? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a quarterback upgrade.
For sure.
Yeah.
Who was that big McConnell? Notre Dame guy, right?
I don't even know.
Big fat white was thrown to him last year.
Sure, I didn't watch last year.
And now he's got a cross-eyed kind of suave meathead.
Oh, yeah. And his promos, Gardner Minshew's promos for the Raiders, I mean, come on.
Yeah, unreal.
Him in Vegas, it's just going to be keeping him out of those nightclubs.
Yeah.
That's really all that it's going to be with Gardner.
Gardner spotted at the marquee yet again.
Indianapolis, they just had to keep him away from McAfee.
Yeah, hopefully he's still there. In all transparency, we are shooting this in June.
Right.
So some of these wide receivers may be in the Army. Some of the quarterbacks may be changed, and a trade is probably bound to happen with at least one or two of them. But as it stands now, these are the number ones on every roster.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, we might both have kids and not even be doing YouTube anymore.
Oh, you want to have a kid with me?
Not with you.
You
It'd be
sick
separate.
bastard.
Hey, it'd be separate kids.
Oh, good.
All right, Devonte Adams.
Correct.
Malik Neighbors is going to be good, though.
I hope so.
Jamar Chase versus Jaden Reed.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, let's go with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jaden Reed had moments last year, and the Packers are on the up and up for sure.
Yeah, they're kind of a team that's just like, they're better than the sum of their parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
young squad, scrappy squad. I like Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I just don't see him having a year that rivals some of the best. Like Jamar Chase is like a top 5 receiver in the league, possibly.
Yeah, he was a top 10 last year with Jake Browning.
Yeah, and Jake Browning had his, Joe Flacco moment there for a second where everybody's like, wait a second, this guy could be something.
Then he turned back into a duck.
Yeah, and I do like the story that the Bengals got Jake Browning specifically because they were playing the Vikings first week of the season a couple years ago, and he was their backup, so they just wanted intel, basically.
Yeah, he was just a spy, and then he became the starter.
Yeah, for a second, but Joe Burrow will be back for at least 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, 6-7 weeks maybe.
I'm giving any quarterback who got hurt last year 6 weeks. Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. 6 weeks at best.
That's fair.
All right, but Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
You could have a duck from the Disney Channel thrown to him, and I think he'd still get like 80 receptions.
Like Daffy.
Yeah. He wasn't from the Disney Channel.
Oh, fuck.
All right, Amari Cooper versus Terry McLaurin.
Love Scary Terry as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Browns fan, so we know which way this is going to go, but I'm going to try and gloat a little bit about Terry.
Yeah.
His nickname is Scary Terry.
Totally.
Awesome.
That's a Rick and Morty reference.
Pretty sure-handed, kind of shifty, kind of like a knife in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
He'll get in those holes in the defense and then has the speed still at an older age to make, an explosive play.
Speaking of knives, I was on Twitter earlier, and an account showed up called Crazy Shit. And I watched a guy stab a cop in the shoulder and then run. It was from the perspective of an elevator.
Yeah.
Well, no, the video was shot from inside of an elevator, body cam footage of another cop who then tased the gentleman who was running with the knife into the elevator. They tased him, didn't help. He kept running, tased him again to his chest. He went like this and then backed up a little bit and was still charging. And so they shot him with real guns. And then he still, for a second, was waving the gun around on the ground, and they were just pointing at him without shooting, which I think is good ethics at that point. They didn't just keep unloading, you know what I mean? They waited, and then they were like, drop your weapon, and he was like, and he put it on his own chest and died like a hero. Not a hero.
A pharaoh.
He died like, he died
like
in a pharaoh position.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pheromoniously. It's Amari Cooper, one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
I don't understand all these fantasy videos that I watch where Amari Cooper is, not even in the top 25 receivers, when last year he had the best fantasy game of any wide receiver, one of the games.
Didn't he break the single game yards record?
Yeah.
With Joe Flacco as his GD QB?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the guy got to do? Turn into a bat and wake up in a full moon like a vampire and live for the rest of his life? Live for eternity?
Wait a second.
What's he got to
You're mixing up your mystics there, I think.
What's he got to turn into Taylor Lautner?
See,
like live on television?
We got werewolves, we got bats, we got vampires.
DJ Nosferatu? I mean, what's he got to do?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because he is production. He's next to the dictionary by the word production is Amari Coop.
Really?
Yeah, and a consummate professional. Not a part of this flashy, show me the cameras kind of class of wide receivers we've come to know. Amari Coop is silent. He makes his moves in silence.
I mean, what does the guy got to do? Dive deep into some water in Scotland and emerge a chupacabra that turns into a flying horse and flies off into the sunset?
That would be electric, but yeah, I mean, God.
What, do we got to get a blurry picture of him walking in the woods and not be able to tell if he's even real?
I'm calling it 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns for Amari this year.
That is a crazy call.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's winning this matchup, but shout out to Scary Terry. Stefan Diggs and DK Metcalf.
Kind of the first real discussion as we get towards the more middle of this bracket.
Because Stefan Diggs was on the Bills last year, had a little bit of a down year, and now he's going to play in the stacked receiver room in Houston, Texas, with C.J. Stroud thrown to him.
Yeah.
But
and
he's competing with Nico Collins and Tank Dell.
But like I said with Tyreek Hill, I really think that'll only serve to help him. I think his biggest struggle is going to be developing chemistry as kind of a head case. Everybody kind of knows. I mean, Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen were at odds kind of their last 3 years in Buffalo, despite their success.
That's probably because of the short form content. They do a lot of that over there at the Bills.
Yeah, and now to join a team that meshed so well, so young, and now he's got to come in as the established vet and be kind of like the leader and the chill guy.
Yeah, and Tank Dell and C.J. Stroud are like actually best friends, so he's going to want to throw to him.
Yeah, and so Stefan has to be all right playing second fiddle at times, but then gradually develop into the stud he is.
Yeah, he almost seems to me like somebody who will be in Texas for 1 year.
Sure.
And then they'll kind of like he's got a lot of value in the league, so they could trade him for maybe some draft capital, get some younger guys in the room, because I just feel like there's a lot of chemistry on that team, especially being such underdogs last year.
Yeah, unless they make like a straight AFC championship run.
I think they have a chance to do that, and either way, they might move Stefan Diggs after this season.
Fair enough. All that being said, you want to talk about DIVAs? DK is your man.
How old is DK Metcalf?
49?
Yeah, I think he's 49, early 50s maybe.
Is that too old? Feels a little high.
I don't know. I mean, he was like, what did they pump him full of juice as a baby or something like that?
He's as big as an oak tree.
Yeah, and he can jump higher than anybody I've met.
Yeah, that's, well, close with me.
With you?
Yeah. He's probably 27, 28.
Okay.
I love DK on paper.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Calvin Johnson Jr. in a lot of ways, and just how he's like so physically imposing to anybody who lines up against him, unless it's like a straight up safety, but then he's going to get burnt because he's quick, but just has kind of fumbled around with the Geno Smith chemistry and hasn't had just like a continuously progressive year. He'll always have that flashy play. He'll help you win a game or two, but it's never like week in, week out. 8 grabs, 95 to 105 yards.
Yeah, and the coaching change is kind of a dice roll. You don't know what the offense is even going to look like in Seattle. So to me, it's Stefan Diggs, but it's kind of close.
It is kind of close, but I'll take Stefan Diggs too.
Next, we got Garrett Wilson versus Drake London.
Kind of an interesting one too. Garrett Wilson's definitely more talented, like technically, inside the numbers, like route running, just speed, everything like you want out of a receiver. But Drake London's like big, explosive, and had moments in a couple games last year. Like he torched the Bucs for like 130 last year. He's getting Kirk Cousins this year. And I hate to just measure the quality of the receiver based on their quarterback, but like both Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers are coming off major injuries.
Yeah, but Desmond Ridder is gone.
Thank God.
The backup is Michael Penix Jr. And I think either way, he's going to have an upgrade at quarterback.
Yeah. And Penix is kind of like penis with an X.
Yeah, totally. The name. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to ignore.
It is. It is really hard to ignore. And it's hard to ignore Aaron Rodgers' politics.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he doesn't let you ignore it.
No, he doesn't.
He's almost ignoring football for those politics, it seems like. But
and he gets so damn high.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kirk Cousins has ever said fuck.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like,
Yeah. The only guy who gets higher than Aaron Rodgers is DK Metcalf.
Nice with the vertical.
Yeah.
The vertical leap. Yeah. I go Garrett Wilson here. I'm still rooting for him. It feels like we're all kind of waiting on that explosive year. And I think Drake London will be great and probably be around for a long time. But I think Garrett Wilson's ceiling is ultimately higher. And if I'm going to assume that Kirk and Aaron play all 17 games, Aaron Rodgers is way better than Kirk Cousins.
Hate to agree with you. Absolutely hate it. Yeah, I despise agreeing with you, but I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson as well. I think that Aaron Rodgers will play more plays this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
That's my over-under there, is 2 plays. So I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers is going to have a longer season this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like his odds. I think he's number 1 target easily there.
Yeah.
So
JETS.
All right. Zay Flowers versus Chris Olave.
Finally, this is a real conversation.
Yeah, I just don't believe in the Saints offense whatsoever. I think they're in a terrible division, and the Bucs and the Falcons both got better. I mean, the Bucs we don't know yet because they've got an offensive coordinator change, so we don't know how that's going to function with Baker and all that stuff. But Derek Carr to Chris Olave, I think that Zay Flowers, I don't know.
It's the down the field stuff here, I think, that makes it a conversation. Because Zay Flowers came onto the scene really electric, but like wasn't running 20-yard post routes.
Yeah.
He was catching slants and making moves, and his speed and the way they would shift around Lamar. And I do think the addition of Derrick Henry makes Zay even deadlier.
Yeah, more viable.
Yeah, because you got to crowd the box now, and if you have like a real legit running game, they ran the ball great last year. They always do, but Derrick Henry puts the fear of God into people's eyes and mouths.
Yeah, totally.
And
he was born a monster truck.
Yeah, he was.
And then slowly turned into a person.
Gravedigger was his grandma.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
On his mom's side.
Yeah. So he's a quarter monster truck.
Yeah, he's a quarter truck.
He's one wheel.
And Chris Olave is a developed down the field threat. And Derek Carr likes to push the ball down the field like that. And I hate everyone in the AFC North that doesn't wear orange and brown. It hurts to sound so corny sometimes.
Yeah.
Chris Olave is a Buckeye.
But you are a Notre Dame fan. You don't like Ohio State.
Go Irish.
I'm going Zay Flowers. I'm putting it out there right now.
I feel like I'm going to too, just because it's the explosiveness that's like just so exciting, and I see him up close and personal. I watch 2 Baltimore games at least a year, like very, very closely. And he's a killer.
I just think the Ravens are going to win 13 games and the Saints are going to win 6.
How are they going to win 13 games if the Browns win 14?
The 2 losses are going to be the Browns.
Oh, cool. That makes sense. Yeah.
2 of their
Four.
4 losses will be the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other 2 will probably be like the Chiefs, or I don't know who they play.
Sure.
I haven't checked the schedule.
That's all right, man. You don't need to. This isn't a sports channel.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. This is more about money.
Right. Hell yeah.
This is a straight money move for us.
Fire.
Yeah. You're gonna be laced.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna lace you with drugs, and then I'm gonna make you rich. I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Chris Olave is better.
Grant, Zay Flowers or Chris Olave?
I'm taking Zay Flowers.
Yeah, he hates the Browns, so that makes sense.
I love the Browns, but, Zay Flowers, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah, and his name is awesome. What an awesome name for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. The flowers bloom in Baltimore.
Yeah, no.
Something. I don't know.
Stick to YouTube.
All right. Last one on the first side, we got DeAndre Hopkins versus Marvin Harrison Jr.
Kind of the old guy versus the young guy. Not even kind of. That is exactly what this is.
Totally.
And not that DeAndre Hopkins is that old. And he did kind of have a couple games there when Will Levis burst his big cock onto the scene last year. Mm-hmm. And you were like, whoa, this guy's still got it. Like as long
Average cock, I will say.
As long as he's got a guy who can rocket that huge hose down the field.
Again, it's
DeAndre
just
Hopkins,
medium hose.
DeAndre Hopkins is a guy who can go get you a ball in a tough spot. He can blow the back out of a defense and end up on the other side in the end zone.
Totally.
And I've seen him do it for so many years continuously that with Marvin Harrison Jr., I've seen him wear Gucci pants to college games.
Absolutely.
And I've seen him absolutely fuck people up that are like now selling cars.
Yeah.
So it makes it tough. I think Kyler is awesome still.
Yeah, here's what I'll say this. The Cardinals are one of my sleeper teams for this year. I think they're going to be really good. Mm-hmm. And I think the Titans are going to be one of the 4 worst teams in the entire NFL.
Oh, see, I disagree.
That's just my opinion going into the season is I think the Titans are going to suck. And I think that the Cardinals are going to be pretty good. And I think he's going to be their number 1 target. I like Kyler. And I don't know. I mean, that's the best wide receiver prospect in 10 years. I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr.
The rookie is being picked by you. I can't do it yet. I'm sticking with DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
Grant, who are you choosing?
I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. If this video comes out week 4 and Marvin Harrison Jr. had 800 yards in his first game, I'm going to look like a cocksuck. So,
yeah. I mean, sometimes what I think that you tend to do is you dwell on the past. You look at, the guy that you've seen, it's proven on paper, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking to the future, man, and I see Marvin Harrison Jr. just coming out of the gate sprinting like Seabiscuit. We got Kendrick Bourne versus Justin Jefferson.
Rooting for a big JJ comeback year.
JJ McCarthy?
Yep.
He actually played pretty well last year. They actually won the championship.
JJ times JJ with a side dish of Sam Darn.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's a chance Sam Darnold's going to be throwing to Justin Jefferson for a good half of the season, maybe even the whole season.
Which would be awesome. Sam Darnold's got a huge cannon.
Yeah, he's good. He's one of those like good backups. But
yeah, out of all the backups in the NFL, given a proper chance, I feel like he could actually emerge and maybe earn himself a contract somewhere else.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is that. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be starting in New England, I think. Yeah. But, I mean, it's obviously Justin Jefferson here.
Yeah. Don't even really have to talk about it. Fuck the Patriots. Kendrick Bourne seems like a cool dude, and I am rooting for the new coaching regime to kind of get out of that dirty shadow of that young fucker Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah, but they get to keep Robert Kraft the good guy, right? He's still there, so.
But you don't really have a choice. He owns their asses.
Yeah. So. All right, we got Chase Claypool versus CeeDee Lamb.
Man, I'm supposed to like Chase, too, because he's a Notre Dame guy, but wow. I think he had 77 yards last year.
What?
I'm pretty sure he had 77 yards in the year 2023.
What? How is he a wide receiver number 1?
Yeah, it's a dire situation there in Buffalo.
Who else they got?
Keon
Coleman.
Yeah,
Come
I know.
on.
You're high on him. And
I think he's going to be the second best wide receiver out of this entire class. I think it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. and Keon Coleman.
Okay.
I really think like his shuttle time was crazy. He's a beast. He's a freak.
I hope so for Josh Allen's sake. Yeah. That Chase doesn't end up being their number 1. But again, another guy kind of in... I don't even want to compare him to DK because it's an insult to DK. But like on paper, Chase Claypool should be awesome.
Yeah.
He's big as shit. He's fast. Yeah. And his first year with the Steelers looked like an absolute rabid dog. Like biting kids in the street. He was nasty. Right coach, right quarterback, maybe get his head back on straight. Definitely not old enough to be like a bust in that sense. I think he's like 24.
Right.
So I'm kind of rooting for Chase Claypool on a comeback year, but CeeDee Lamb is, if he's not 1, he's 2 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak. Tyreek 2.0 kind of.
All right, now we got Joshua Palmer versus A.J. Brown, and I'm going to go with A.J. Brown.
I'm going to as well. It's really hard for me to remember how good of a beginning of the year A.J. Brown had because he was really just going berserk.
Yeah.
And then the end of the year was just so sad, and he looks so sleepy in his press photo. He looks exhausted.
He sure does.
Exhausted of Nick Sirianni talking about calzones or something.
And Joshua Palmer is the opposite of exhausted because he is going to be just kind of jogging routes while they run the ball straight down the middle.
Yeah, and he has to wear a bulletproof vest because Justin Herbert's trying to throw the ball through his chest.
Totally, if they let him throw, which I think they might by week 5. They'll let him throw one pass.
That's true.
I love that Justin Herbert has this rocket of an arm, and he is going to be forced to hand the ball off almost the entire season.
Yeah, it's like when they limit Shohei Ohtani's pitch count to 4.
Yeah.
They're like, great job. Get in the reliever. Yep. And he's like, it's halfway through the first.
But A.J. Brown.
Yeah, A.J. Brown. Hope the Chargers have a good year for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know why I root for that, but I do.
I root for anybody who has no fans.
Yeah.
Because they could use me over there. Make me that old Asian lady that they put on Monday Night Football.
I said that to Emwell from Our Generation Music. I was hanging out with him at Summer Smash, and he said something about being a Chargers fan, and I was like, oh, you're one of the 6 fans that they have over there.
It's bizarre. No
and
one
he was
cares.
like, I'm number 1. I'm the one. I was like, all right.
Good for them. Winning solves everything.
Does it?
Yeah, if they went to the Super Bowl, they'd have a lot more fans.
I thought you meant in life in general.
Oh, no. Dude,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
No, it can't solve what you have. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's all right. Rashee Rice versus Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is such a bad little boy.
Yeah. Naughty.
He's him and Puka Nacua are the only guys that actively really remind me of Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Durable, can do the downfield explosive stuff, but then do all the dirty work. They block, they do the short yardage, tough catches in traffic, just nasty old school guys that will have 14 grabs a game for 148 or something.
Yeah.
Just sick. I love that he's in Detroit. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. I love his brother's name, Sequinemius. And
okay.
Rashee Rice seems great, but again, like we said, we're shooting this in June, and he might not be playing this year. So
yeah, I don't know. I really liked him last year. I thought that everybody's talk of the Chiefs having such a bad wide receiver room was hard for that point to stick because Rashee Rice was there. But yeah, I mean it's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Christian Kirk versus Puka Nacua.
There's that Puka boy.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Puka Nacua. I do like Christian Kirk, but
yeah, Christian Kirk steady, solid. Don't really think he's a wide receiver number 1 at this point.
Yeah,
I feel like Jacksonville needs someone else.
Definitely.
Even last year with Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk was still their number 1. Calvin Ridley had a bunch of drops and just kind of never meshed with that team. But I like Christian Kirk a lot, but he doesn't seem like the dominant number 1. And Puka Nacua seems like a generational talent.
Yeah, I mean, he had a historic year.
Yeah.
Broke records, and nobody expected it. It was such a cool story. He's such a delight.
He can jam.
So fun to listen to.
His girlfriend's hot, and he has the ultimate tutor. He's got the Triple Crown guy, Cooper Kupp, there.
Yeah, it's it's weird to me that Cooper Kupp is not a number 1 on any team because of how good he was 3 years ago.
Right.
But obviously Puka Nacua was their number 1 producer last year and will be this year, get the most targets from Matthew Stafford.
Potentially.
But, yeah, I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying
because Cooper was hurt last year, so Puka's numbers were inflated out of necessity to a degree. And if Cooper plays the whole year this year and he ends with 1,100 yards and Puka only has barely 1,000, I guess I wouldn't be that surprised.
No, but it's, Christian Kirk is got to be hoping that Trevor Lawrence, for 1, stays healthy, and 2, has one just good year all the way through.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are saying it's Jacksonville's year. I don't get it personally.
Yeah, I never believe in them. And I know I just said I root for teams with no fans, but Florida, ugh.
Yeah, it's just that the whole state,
And California, yes.
I guess.
Texas.
Right. Okay. Puka.
Yep. Mahalo.
Sure, you're allowed.
Is that all right?
Yeah, you're allowed to say that.
Cool.
Michael Pittman Jr. versus Brandon Aiyuk.
Michael Pittman Jr. is a dog.
That's my number one sleeper team this year. I think the Colts are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson's badass.
Everybody's
badass.
like, oh, we don't know. I'm like, dude, that guy could be a top 3 quarterback in the entire NFL. That
He's
guy's
nasty.
an athletic freak.
Yeah. Did you see him recently say that the NFL is easier than college?
Oh, come on. That's badass.
It was badass. And he did it, and then he justified it in a really cool way. He's basically saying in college, guys' like motives are like all over the place because some guys are going to career, some guys have school, whatever. In the NFL, it's just that, and that everyone's working so hard, you can relax, and all you need to do is your job because you can count on your team to be like busting their ass at their positions.
Yeah.
Where in college, he felt like he had to like overcompensate for lack of talent on the offensive side. He'd have to go Superman mode. Where in the NFL, he can kind of just, play action, dump it down 8 yards, and someone can take it. Michael Pittman Jr. specifically can take it to the house.
Yeah. No, I like that. Brandon Aiyuk, to me, it's weird that, I get that he's the number 1 there.
Yeah.
But Deebo Samuel plays there.
Yeah, just down the field, Brandon Ayuk's like one of the deadliest guys in the league.
Yeah, totally. I that's one guy that I wouldn't be surprised if he's not there.
Oh, no, I don't think he will be. I have the feeling.
Yeah.
I have the feeling he's going to be, I think he'd be crazy in like Green Bay. I think he'd be crazy.
In Jacksonville.
Yeah, low key.
Jacksonville would be awesome. Trevor Lawrence throwing to Brandon Ayuk would be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Cleveland Browns, we give them nothing, and we get Brandon Ayuk.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
What could we give them that's like nothing?
Some of Kevin Stefanski's beard.
Okay, yeah.
That's not nothing, though.
Maybe we give him to Deshaun Watson and they pick up the tab on him? And then we just have Jameis Winston thrown to Amari Cooper and Brandon Ayuk?
That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. Come on, 4. Give us a good year. I'm going Michael Pittman Jr. here, and that might be kind of a hot take, but that's how I feel.
I know I said that the Colts were going to be a sleeper team. I think the 49ers might not lose a game. I think they got better. I don't see how they're not going to be the best team in the NFL. And so I am going to go with Brandon Aiyuk if he stays in San Francisco.
Okay.
So, Grant, is it Michael Pittman Jr. or is it Brandon Aiyuk?
I'll take Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, yeah, he's a big Colts guy.
Yeah, loves Indianapolis.
Yeah.
31 years since the San Francisco 49ers have won a Super Bowl.
All right, now we got Courtland Sutton versus DJ Moore.
Love this matchup.
Yeah, me too.
I love Courtland Sutton.
Sure.
And I love DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I think DJ Moore is like a gangster.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I like DJ Moore's whole vibe when he's out on the field. We saw him play live last year.
Yeah.
And he's a dog. And he's got Caleb Williams. And I don't know. Their wide receiver room got better.
Way better. They got Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And Keenan Allen's a little older and and we don't know what, Caleb Williams is a question mark right now. But Courtland Sutton is playing on the worst team in the NFL.
That's true. But I do love his talent. I like how the way he grabs balls right out of the air.
Yeah, the way he grabs balls, yeah.
Right out of the air. But
totally.
Yeah, DJ Moore, Chicago, got to go with him. I think he'll, you get mentored by Keenan Allen a little bit, and then he can kind of be the bridge between Keenan and Rome, and then they're all kind of helping Caleb out. I think they're really set up for success.
Totally. And Courtland Sutton's going to be catching balls from Bo Nix and possibly Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham.
And Peyton Manning's kid.
Peyton Manning's kid, did he go? No, he didn't. He didn't go to the Broncos.
He's like 8 or something.
He's 8?
Yeah, he's got a kid that's like 8, and I think he's going to throw some balls for Denver this year.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's just a prediction.
Arch Manning?
Just a prediction.
Isn't Arch Manning like actually 18 or something?
Yeah, he's cute too.
Oh, nice. His dad.
Not so much.
Yeah,
it's laughable how not handsome he is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning is one of my favorite people ever.
Yeah.
Because he's so charming, so easy to root for, one of the best to ever throw a football.
Yep.
And just has a head the size of a building. It is so crazy.
Yeah.
It is just straight up, man.
Yep. I root for Detroit in my spare time, but I am kind of rooting for a Chicago resurgence this year.
George Pickens versus Mike Evans.
Fuck George Pickens. Fuck the Steelers.
Yeah, I hate the Steelers. George Pickens, I do really like.
You want to talk about a mean guy?
Who?
George Pickens.
Well, he's just like too cool to play football.
Yeah, I love it. He's got a shiesty on. He'll punch you in your neck.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time for him to throw a block, he's going to walk away.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do that.
No.
He's there to catch balls, not hit other people.
He's kind of the antithesis of Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans is the most consistent wide receiver in the NFL. 10 years, 1,000 yards every year. You can count. You can take that to the bank and cash it out every time.
We collectively, as Hivemind, could be his quarterback, and he's going to get $1,000.
Yeah, somehow he's going to figure out getting 1,000 yards every time, and he's not going to complain once.
Nope.
He doesn't care who's throwing to him. It doesn't matter if it's Tom Brady, if it's Baker Mayfield, or if it's like the FedEx guy who just showed up at the stadium that day and was like, oh, let me throw a few.
Yeah, going Mike Evans here easily, but I do think George Pickens with Russell and or Justin Fields is going to have a way better year, and he's got to be stoked about it.
A way better year than Mike Evans, or?
No, than Kenny Pickett year last year.
Well, yeah, okay. I was just making sure you weren't just like, well, George Pickens is gonna have a better year than Mike Evans, but I'm picking Mike Evans because I fucking hate the Steelers.
I could say that, and it would make sense still for me.
Yeah, totally. But I want to be one of those unbiased channels.
Nope. I painted the wall orange for a reason, pal.
All right, fine. Well, Mike Evans, I would have picked him anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that the wall is orange for the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo, which is awesome.
Creamsicle.
Yeah.
And that's what do you call that? A creamsicle is like when you cum in someone's nose.
A creamsicle is like a dessert pop.
Cream pie is when you finish inside your partner and then the nut leaks out.
Okay.
A creamsicle, oh, maybe that's when there's cum on your shaft and it is licked off by your partner.
I don't know. You know way more about this stuff than I do.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Where you freeze your boner with cum on it and then it gets licked off by your partner or anybody else for that matter.
You're the sports guy, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Welcome to Cheap Seats, home of football.
All right, round 2. Tyreek Hill, Devonte Adams, Tyreek Hill.
Fuck, imagine if they were on the same team. Just
Oh, yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Tyreek Hill
He's a goat.
he's faster than anybody I've ever met in real life.
Yeah, and he might go down as the greatest wide receiver of our time, and it's pretty crazy because we've lived in the time of Terrell Owens, Calvin Johnson, Chad Ochocinco.
I don't think they judge it by, like, our lifetime. It's usually,
I
like,
know.
generations. Like, Tyreek Hill, it's going to be, like, between him and, like, CeeDee Lamb.
Listen, dickhead, I know that. Whoa, I'm sorry. That's actually my bad.
Yeah, totally.
I just mean the
Stepping
trajectory,
boundary.
like his talent is transcendental outside of generations. Like he is every single year you're like, oh, the last guy to catch this many balls and run for this many fuckers is like Jerry Damn Rice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that it's just like Devonte Adams is legit, but he didn't play his whole career with Aaron Rodgers. Otherwise, this might be a different conversation.
Tyreek Hill.
T-Hill. T-Swift.
Uh-oh. AFC North, we got Jamar Chase versus Amari Cooper.
Kind of an age thing here, I guess.
I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a talent thing.
I don't think so.
It's okay to be honest.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Jamar Chase is better than Amari Cooper.
Yeah, not last year he wasn't.
Okay.
All right, so bulletproof argument on your end.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, not last year though. And we had 5 quarterbacks. And Amari Cooper had a better year.
5 quarterbacks is better than 1.
So when you put it like that.
If 5 people are throwing the ball, he's going to catch one of them.
I'm taking Amari Cooper. He's a better player. I'd rather have Amari Cooper on my team because he was more productive last year. I'm just looking at the numbers.
I would like to put in a $100 bet with you that Jamar Chase will have more receiving yards and more receptions than Amari Cooper does this year.
I'll take that bet as long as Amari Cooper is under contract for 17 games.
Okay, if Amari Cooper is on the team for 17 games, $100 if Jamar Chase has more productivity than Amari Cooper.
Productivity measured in yards and touchdowns?
Yards and receptions. I'm
what
saying
if one has more receptions and less yards?
then I give you $100. I'm saying Jamar Chase is going to have more in both of those categories.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that. $100 on the screen. Lock
Let's
it
go.
in. I love gambling, and I'm going to make you do a lot of that this year. With you and me are going to have side bets, and I'm going to need people to keep track of them.
I've never gambled. That might be the first time.
Oh, it feels good to take money from a little bitch.
Grant, you're going to have to decide this one between Jamar Chase and Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Every NFL fan just clicked off of this video.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Think of all the Cowboys people who are like, damn, that Coop, man, we should have kept him.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is a diva bitch who doesn't do shit when Joe Burrow's hurt.
This is not what we're doing here. We're not doing that on this channel.
I'm just saying, when Joe Burrow's hurt, Jamar Chase turns into a turtle.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He hides in his shell.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
All right, whatever. Stefan Diggs and Garrett Wilson.
This is fun.
Yeah.
This is a fun matchup because they both kind of, Garrett Wilson reminds me of a young Stefan Diggs. He's so confident in his abilities.
Yeah.
To the point where it's almost like, all right, pipe the slowdown on that one.
Yeah.
Smoke a little of this slow down cheddar.
I think, to me, this is a tough one because I think Garrett Wilson benefits from being the obvious number one target over there. And Stefan Diggs, we just don't know how he's going to acclimate to Houston.
Yeah, and coming off a bad year as a veteran is always kind of like, like, was that it?
But I think Stefan Diggs could have that year that's oh my God, like this guy had 1,500 yards.
Yeah,
like,
I think he's still young enough that you kind of have to assume that. And then he was so dominant already, which we haven't seen from Garrett Wilson. It's just like waiting for Garrett Wilson to catch up and time it up right with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's still Stefan Diggs, but I think it's an interesting conversation. And if you said Garrett Wilson, because you're wearing green or something, or you liked the Jets and you had actual proof that, one was actually better than the other, I wouldn't argue with you.
I'm going to go with Stefan Diggs.
Cool.
Yeah. And I don't think what I'm wearing is ever going to really affect what I pick on here.
You're a graphic guy. I don't know. Sometimes subconsciously you're like, ooh, colors.
Let me tell you guys something about Graydon here. When you watch a football game with Graydon and the Browns, something bad happens in the game, he'll walk over and turn a mug upside down and flip his coffee table and be like, well, that ought to do it.
A lot of people are going to resonate with that. You're trying to say this is something to make fun of me. A lot of people.
No, I'm just letting them know, and they can do with that what they will. There's going to be some gambling addicts out there who are going to be like, well, that's a good idea.
That's funny because I don't bet on the Browns, but yeah, it's all about the juju in the room.
It's not. Whatever. I don't care. I'm going to go with Stefan Diggs. We both went with Stefan Diggs.
Thank you. Some people aren't liking how this video is going, and they'll change which leg's crossing the other, and they'll hope the vibe changes up.
The vibe's in here. The vibe's not in that person's room. The vibe's not in your room. It's
Who's
just
to
not.
say?
I guess I don't know what's above.
Do you believe in magic?
In a young girl's heart, maybe.
Thanks, man.
Whatever. Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. He's a better wide receiver. Zay Flowers is like a little running back who catches long pitches.
This is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, the hate
because
for the
how much
AFC
you
North
hate
coming
everybody in the AFC North. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I kind of think Zay Flowers is going to have a better year than DeAndre Hopkins this year.
There's a good chance Titans got Calvin Ridley and Will Levis might turn into a duck. There's a chance he just isn't anything.
Duck is still something.
Cute too.
Yeah.
It's very cute. And I mean, I was the biggest Will Levis fan after those first 3 games.
And I was the biggest hater of the BP oil spill, specifically because of all the cute ducks that they hurt.
Yeah. But Will Levis's biceps will make any man bust down and do 20. I'm like, holy shit, what am I doing? I didn't know you could have biceps like that and be a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And he rolls the sleeves all the way up, and those suckers are popping out singing a little song.
Right.
To all the good, loyal fans down there in Tennessee.
A country song, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. And I'm rooting for him, and I think DeAndre Hopkins is still kind of slept on.
I'm going Zay Flowers.
I'm going DeAndre Hopkins. Grant, where do you fall?
Zay Flowers.
Big Baltimore guy voted for him in the first round.
Yeah, going the Zay way.
Okay.
JJ, CD. This could be the final.
Yeah, this should be the final.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. Actually, oh man, I don't know.
I think in this instance, you have to take quarterback into play. We're talking about who the best one is prospect going into 2024. I'd bet you $1 trillion and my left dick that CD has a better year than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's true. Justin Jefferson's 2 options for quarterback are Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy,
who are 2 lame white guys.
JJ McCarthy is definitely lame, but I do think he's going to be really good.
That's on you, and I hope this comes out a few weeks into the season after Myles Garrett rips his tits off.
He's not going to be playing the first few weeks. I think Sam Darnold's going to start the year. It doesn't matter. Dak Prescott is just very boring to me, but I think he's really good.
Yeah.
And so, I'll go CeeDee Lamb.
I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb, and I'll give it the disclaimer of if I was starting my own team, I might and probably would even pick Justin Jefferson. But given the situations they're in, and CeeDee took that leap last year. Because going into last year, this wasn't as much of a debate.
No, he was like the 15th best receiver.
Yeah.
Like CeeDee Lamb was like, oh, he's good. But,
yeah, and now it's like, oh, he's on the scene.
And now Tyreek Hill says as a celebration, I'm CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep, I'm going CD. And his name is CD.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome. I used to listen to those.
Disc. Yeah.
AJ Brown versus Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh, Battle of the Browns.
Battle of the Browns. Go Browns. I'm going to
you.
go with Amon-Ra.
I will as well. I hate the Eagles.
I think the Eagles are going to be much better this year than they were last year when they fell apart and became a minor league football team, which I didn't even know existed.
And I do love AJ Brown. He keeps it cool.
Yeah, totally.
And I love a big-ass wide receiver. A guy who catches a ball like, think, make you look like a little boy.
Yeah, but Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Awesome,
I mean, come on.
yeah. He's top 3 for me.
Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman Jr.
Kind of awesome, but Puka, for sure. I can't believe we're sending a second-year player this far in, but fuck it.
Yeah, he's just the better player right now.
He's so cute, too.
Yeah.
Whimsical.
DJ Moore, Mike Evans.
I'm going to send Mike Evans along here. I think DJ's kind of in the prove it year because he had the talent in Carolina, came into Chicago into a broken home, had to watch his parents get a divorce. And then now it's kind of like, oh, mommy's new boyfriend's here who paints his nails.
And he cries when he loses.
And he cries when he loses. Let's see if he can get you the rock.
Yeah, totally.
You know, but Mike Evans doesn't matter. Divorce household, dead household, alone on the streets, perfect home, no home, doesn't matter. He's getting a rack.
Yeah, I think if the apocalypse happened, Mike Evans would still be catching balls out there. You know what I mean? It's just something about him.
Is that Mike Evans? Is he running routes? What the fuck?
He's like, hey, he's like catching balls from like a mutant.
He has an octopus arm on his head.
Yeah. All right, we're into our Elite Eight here, and we've got Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper. And before you even start,
No, I'll go with Tyreek. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, obviously.
all right, cool.
Obviously. But man, the Coopster.
Yeah.
Coopy. Take a big coop on your team.
All right,
Yeah.
Stefan Diggs and Zay Flowers.
Stefan Diggs. Come on. All around
Yeah.
capability.
It's so 50-50 with Stefan Diggs for me, and I know I just keep saying the same thing. I just don't know what it's going to be like watching him play in Houston.
Yeah. That's what they do on sports shows, though. You just kind of reiterate the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think LeBron's better than Michael?
Wait, why wasn't Bronny on here?
Oh, because he's a basketball player who
Oh.
used to be LeBron James's cum. Which is insane.
Yeah.
LeBron James cream-pied Savannah,
Stop.
and now Bronny
You don't
James.
get to say that sort of stuff. LeBron could be watching this, and I have a lot of respect for that guy. He's kind of my hero.
I have a lot of respect for anybody
You
who
don't talk
can-
about a guy cream pieing his wife specifically with their names. That's
He
fucked
turned
up.
his cream pie into a teammate.
I know, but like, come on, man.
He turned his nut
Have
into a
some
Laker.
respect. I didn't know we were going to do this on this channel.
Turned his nut into a Laker.
This is the main
That's
channel stuff. Like,
crazy.
that's like, if you want to watch this sort of shit, there's a yellow
That's
wall.
sports talk.
People don't say that shit on sport.
Stephen A. Smith tweeted that last night.
I haven't seen
He
Colin
said, that
Coward
king
say,
turned his nut into a Laker.
No, he didn't. He would
said-
never say
He
that.
said, I'll be damned.
He would never say that. I've never seen Colin Coward, Skip Bayless even wouldn't say that sort of shit.
That's why I'm diving headfirst into the sports space. I'm trying to shake it up.
All right. I guess I can't really hate on that, but
Thanks.
you're a new voice in the space.
Yeah, no one's ever said that kind of shit before.
Right.
Well, by the time this comes out, he might have another kid on the Lakers. Hey, Dad, pass me the ball. All right, enough of the basketball talk. I think it's Stefan Diggs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Zay Flowers to take a CD type leap in the next year or two, where all of a sudden he just has to be in the conversation for like top 6 guys.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is the year.
All right. Yeah, let's go Stefan and we'll see what happens. CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Awesome matchup, but you just got to give it to CD.
Yeah.
Straight productivity, what? I don't know, man. Fuck, Amon-Ra catches so many balls.
I just think this year for the Lions really hinges on how Jared Goff adapts to the money. Like, is it going to be like that year where like he's just motivated by it? Or is it going to be one of those where like deer in the headlights and just kind of like feels like he can relax, I don't know.
He came into Detroit with a giant contract.
I know, but now he's like top 2 paid guys in the entire league.
But with inflation, it's the same money he was getting paid after he made the Super Bowl run in LA. Like he's been used to having like a top 5 contract. It's
Yeah.
not like he came from the slums.
No.
He came in, made it to the Super Bowl on his rookie deal, signed a monster deal, and then got shipped off. That was like his biggest chip on the shoulder moment, was when the team that gave him the most money shipped him off to Detroit to be forgotten about, and then he came up with the rusty fuckers here in Detroit and proved everyone wrong except for blowing that huge fucking lead last year. Fuckers. I think Jared Goff is going to be just fine. I think the Lions are going to be even better than they were last year. I think Sam Laporta is going to take a leap. Kind of hurts to lose Josh Reynolds for sure. I loved him as like the veteran backup, but I think Amon-Ra's good enough to like break the reception record type shit. Like, he is such a beast, and he can catch balls that CD doesn't even run for.
Yeah, what did he catch, like 180 balls last year or something? Yeah.
It's a lot. I don't know. I think part of me sitting here near Detroit, Michigan, wants to be like stand up for the guy because I watch him play so much and he is such a dog. But flash-wise, CD's like the Ferrari. You hear it coming, you see it go by, and you say, oh. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is like the utility truck or something. It's not that flashy, but it'll like rip a tree out of the ground. I don't know. This analogy fell apart a little bit.
Yeah, it sure did.
Totally fell apart. Put your finger in my mouth?
What? No.
No, okay.
When has that ever worked?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to quit rambling. LeBron is better than Michael, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is better than CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb. He was the best wide receiver last year.
Grant, break the tie.
I'll take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm not going to argue with you guys there. I just want the people in Detroit to still fuck with me, and now they hate you too. So
They don't hate
They do.
No.
They're sounding off. You think you can turn your back on the city and they're going to fucking embrace you and kiss you?
No, there's going to be plenty of people in Detroit who are like, Amon-Ra St. Brown is really, really good. He's just not as good as Tyreek Hill or CeeDee Lamb, but he's third.
Sure. Drag your nuts across Mike Duggan's head while you're at it.
I would never do that.
He's really short. It'd be easy.
I know. I still wouldn't do that to anybody.
Jump right over him. Kind of that shoulder push jump.
Yeah.
Drag your long, sweaty nuts over him.
Puka Nacua, Mike Evans.
Ooh, Puka.
Really old guy versus the new guy.
Yeah, a lovely matchup. Would love to see him team up. Would love to have dinner with both of them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Two guys I'd just love to take out.
Good time.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Mike would be like, ooh, I got to tuck it in. And Puka would be like, want to hit the club? Watch me do a backflip.
Yeah, if they want to go to the London Chop House here in Detroit with us, whenever, if we can set that up, I guess, Mike Evans, Puka Nacua, me and you.
Oh, no.
Huh?
I just want to go with Puka and Mike.
Well,
I've been to the Chop House a bunch with you. It's fine.
We only went once. It was for my
That's
birthday
enough.
last year.
Yeah, that's enough. I'll go for your birthday again this year. It's fine.
If I invite Puka and Mike, will you still come?
I'll think about it if I'm not busy.
All right, hit me up. Puka and Mike. Mike hit him up, Puka hit me up, and then we'll figure it out.
Cool.
I'll group chat us.
Yeah. I'm taking Puka.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford's a lot better than Baker Mayfield, too.
Final four set here. We got Tyreek Hill versus Stefan Diggs.
Stefan Diggs only made it this far because of the fucked up way we made our bracket. So it's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it's Tyreek Hill to the finals. That's easy. And the other one's also easy. It's CeeDee Lamb versus Puka Nacua.
Yeah. You know, another 1,400-yard season from Puka Nacua this time next year. Meet me back here, same place, cheap seats, like and subscribe. Maybe it's a different conversation.
Yeah, totally.
But right now, it's just like Puka's fun, likable, broke the rookie record. Woo! Matthew Stafford might turn into ashes this year. And his wife also came out and said she slept with his backup quarterback in college to make him commit.
I know, that was...
And that will hurt a brother's soul. That'll hurt a dude's soul.
Absolutely.
So he might come into this...
I feel bad for the brother.
Yeah. It's getting weird, though.
Yeah, sorry
we're
about
saying
that.
it. Yeah.
I don't know.
He might come into this year with a bit of a limp dick.
Yeah, he might be flaccid all year.
And have like a cuck mask on. And some of the guys in the locker room might be like, that pussy.
Oh, yeah, they won't respect him anymore.
They might not respect him because his wife slept around on him in college in order to make him commit to her.
I do feel like Puka would be the one, though, to be like, hey,
okay,
man,
brother.
it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I like you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's making fun of you over there. He's like, you know.
I feel like Cooper Kupp just thinks in numbers.
Yeah.
He's just like 12 times 24. He's like, I don't even know who Matt's wife is. I don't even know who Matt is. Are you talking about the robot that throws me balls?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's a psycho. But yeah, the rest of the team's laughing at him for sure.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best. I love what you did for the city, Matt. And I hope Puka has another 1,400-yard year. But in the meantime, it's CD. And it's CD Tyreek Hill final. Which is just... That's why you come to cheap seats. The unexpected finales of brackets like this.
The one you would have predicted right at the very beginning of the video is the final.
Yeah.
And we got Tyreek Hill versus CeeDee Lamb. Now, this is a bit of a debate. I think
for sure.
Tyreek Hill is still the flashiest, still the most fun to watch, but has a more competitive wide receiver room.
Is older.
Had
more serious injuries last year.
Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of feel like CeeDee Lamb edges it out here, but CeeDee Lamb, we're basing that off of one incredible season.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, we've seen 5 years of this.
And something, when I just picture players wearing that big blue bastard star on their helmet, I just picture failure. And he had like that amazing year, but like, I'm so ready for Dak to be shipped off after he gets franchise tagged or whatever, and them to just blow this up. Jerry Jones to die mid-season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm ready for CeeDee to start dropping balls. Everybody's like, what's wrong with CeeDee Lamb? Last year, the breakout wide receiver can't seem to put it together. Like, if they get the film out on him and they do something else and start confusing him and he can't adapt, we haven't seen that breakthrough, and the film's been out on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And he proved it that he could do it in Miami without Patrick Mahomes. And teams can draw up whatever they want against him, and he still produces. We haven't seen that yet with CeeDee, and I think I need that one more year to see if he can adjust to the adjustments that will inevitably be made for him.
Yeah, that kind of sways me towards Tyreek here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more reliable at the current moment.
I think there's a chance CeeDee's better than him this year.
Yeah.
Of course. But I need to see it. And Tyreek is going to get 1,800 yards. That's just it.
Yeah, unless he gets hurt.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only other thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Waddle has a breakout year where he's just the guy.
Sure. Yeah, I just don't think that's possible. Unless OBJ goes to like the fountain of youth and the cave of darkness with Aaron Rodgers and comes back Jesus, MJ dancing on people. But
yeah.
Yeah, I still think it's Tyreek Hill. I think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
All right. Tyreek Hill wins our wide receiver ones bracket. Let us know what bracket you want us to do next. We could do quarterbacks, defenses, running backs. Let us know down in the comment section.
We could do hot coaches.
Your most handsome coaches would be a good one.
I said hot.
Oh, hot and handsome are different?
Yeah, those would be two different brackets. Think content, dude.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sexiest offensive coordinators.
Oh, baddest bitches in the fan bases.
That's fucked up.
Fan bases with the most bad bitches.
That seems fucked up.
Miami. Oh, girls be crazy down there. This is football, man.
I know.
Man up.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know what you think down in the comments. This is Cheap Seats, and we'll see you in the next video.
Go Browns. Can't believe they're 6-0 right now.